They believed she was blind, helpless, and completely unaware of the betrayal in her own home. Even her own husband believed she could not see the lies happening right under her roof. But what no one knew was that she had been watching everything. For 6 long months, she stayed silent, gathering the truth piece by piece.
This seals it.
Our future. And when the truth was finally revealed, the people who betrayed her wished she had remained blind.
You betrayed me.
At the center of the living room sits a woman in a wheelchair. Her name is Adis Okafor. She is dressed elegantly in a simple cream-colored gown, her posture straight and composed. Her eyes are open but empty, fixed on nothing in particular. To everyone in the house, Adis is blind. A young housemaid carefully approaches her with a tray. "Madam, your tea is ready," the girl says softly as she places the cup on the table beside her. Adis does not move. She keeps staring ahead as if she cannot see anything at all. But upstairs, footsteps echo down the staircase. Then laughter follows. A man's voice. Then the soft laughter of a younger woman. Adis' fingers slowly tighten around the armrest of the wheelchair. Inside her mind, a quiet voice whispers, "6 months, and they still believe I cannot see them." The footsteps belong to her husband, Chief Emeka Okafor, a man known across Lagos as a powerful businessman. The woman laughing beside him is Sandra, Adis' personal assistant. A woman Adis once trusted. A woman who now secretly shares her husband. The two voices disappear into a nearby room upstairs. Adis slowly lowers her head. Her expression remains calm. But inside her chest, her heart beats slowly and heavily. Because the truth is something no one in this house knows. Adis is not blind. Not anymore. And for 6 long months, she has watched everything. Every lie. Every secret meeting. Every betrayal happening under her own roof. But to understand how everything reached this moment, the story must go back 6 months earlier. 6 months earlier, the Okafor mansion was filled with life. Music floated through the large garden as guests arrived in expensive cars. It was the night of the annual charity event hosted by Adis' Real Estate Foundation. Adis had built her reputation over many years. She was admired not only for her beauty but also for her intelligence and determination. Her company had developed residential estates across Lagos and Abuja, making her one of the most respected businesswomen in the country. Standing beside her that evening was her husband, Emeka. Tall, charming, and always dressed in expensive suits, Emeka enjoyed the attention that came with his wife's success. To outsiders, they looked like the perfect couple. Guests laughed, drank champagne, and praised Adis' generosity while soft jazz music played in the background. Sandra moved around the party assisting Adis, organizing schedules and answering calls. At first, nothing seemed unusual. But at one moment during the evening, Adis noticed something strange. She caught Sandra glancing at Emeka. The look lasted only a second, but it was different. Too familiar. Too comfortable. Adis ignored the feeling at first. Sandra had worked for her for 2 years and had always been loyal and efficient. Still, the uneasy feeling remained. Later that night, Adis excused herself from the garden party. "I'll be right back," she told Emeka. "I left my phone upstairs." The house was quieter than the lively garden outside. As Adis walked down the hallway toward the bedroom, she noticed the bedroom door slightly open. Then she heard voices. Emeka's voice. And Sandra's. Addis froze. Sandra laughed softly inside the room. So how long do you think we can keep hiding this? Sandra asked. Emika's voice responded calmly. My wife trusts me. She would never suspect anything. Addis' chest tightened. Sandra spoke again, her tone slightly playful. And when will everything finally belong to us? There was a short pause before Emika answered. Soon. Addis' breath caught in her throat. Her heart pounded loudly in her ears. Slowly, she pushed the door open. And then she saw them. Emika standing close to Sandra. Too close. His hand resting comfortably on her waist. Sandra leaning into him with a smile that made Addis' stomach twist painfully. For a few seconds, no one moved. The world seemed to stop. Then Addis' heel slipped slightly on the polished floor. The door opened wider with a loud creak. Both Emika and Sandra turned immediately. Shock filled their faces. Addis, Emika said quickly, stepping forward. But Addis stepped backward. Her chest tightened painfully. Her mind raced with disbelief. The room spun around her. Her vision blurred. Then suddenly everything went dark. When Addis woke up, she was lying in a hospital bed. The smell of antiseptic filled the air. Machines beeped quietly beside her. She blinked slowly. But something was wrong. Everything was black. She blinked again. Still nothing. Panic slowly spread through her chest. A doctor stepped closer to her bed. Mrs. Okafor, please remain calm, he said gently. Addis swallowed. I can't see. The doctor sighed softly. You suffered a severe emotional shock, he explained. Your optic nerves were affected by the trauma. Emika sat beside her bed holding her hand. My love, everything will be fine, he said reassuringly. But Addis noticed something strange. His voice sounded more worried about the situation than about her. The doctor continued speaking. Your blindness may be temporary. Sometimes sight returns slowly after the body recovers. Addis remained silent. Her mind replayed what she had seen before collapsing. Sandra. Emika. Their voices. Their plans. That night in the hospital, Addis lay awake in complete darkness. And slowly a decision formed inside her mind. If Emika believed she was blind, then perhaps it was time to let him believe it completely. Returning home felt different. The mansion that once felt warm now felt cold and unfamiliar. Emika suddenly became the perfect husband. He pushed her wheelchair. He spoke gently. He told visitors she needed rest and privacy. But Addis could hear the impatience behind his kindness. Sandra still walked in the house. Still answered calls. Still walked confidently through the hallways. Sometimes late at night Addis heard whispers coming from the study. Emika and Sandra believed the blind woman upstairs could hear nothing. But Addis heard everything. 3 weeks later, something unexpected happened. One morning Addis woke up and noticed something unusual. A faint glow behind the darkness. At first she thought it was imagination. But over the next few days the glow grew stronger. Shadows appeared. Shapes slowly became clearer. Within 2 weeks, Addis could see again. Perfectly. She sat in the wheelchair staring quietly at the beautiful room around her. Then she slowly closed her eyes. Because now she understood something important. People reveal their true selves when they believe you cannot see them. For the next 6 months, Addis played the role perfectly. The quiet blind wife. But secretly, she watched everything. She saw Emeka meeting Sandra in the study. She saw documents being signed late at night. She saw Sandra wearing Addis' jewelry. And she heard them planning to transfer Addis' company into Emeka's name. Each betrayal burned deeply inside her heart. But Addis did not react. Instead, she prepared. A trusted lawyer helped her secretly install cameras in key rooms. Private investigators followed Emeka's financial activities. Hidden recordings captured every conversation. 6 months of patience. 6 months of evidence. 6 months of silence. Until the perfect moment arrived. One evening, Addis announced a gathering at the mansion. Business partners, family members, friends. Everyone arrived curious. Emeka stood confidently beside Sandra, believing everything was under control. The living room filled with guests. Soft music played. Addis sat quietly in her wheelchair. Then she spoke. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight." The room fell silent. "There is something I want to show you." She nodded toward the large television screen behind her. The lights dimmed. The screen flickered. Then the recordings appeared. Emeka and Sandra kissing. Their secret meetings. Their conversations about stealing Addis' company. Gasps filled the room. Emeka's face turned pale. "What is this nonsense?" he shouted. Sandra stepped back in panic. Then Addis slowly placed her hands on the armrest of the wheelchair. And stood up. The entire room froze. You can see?" Emeka whispered. Addis looked directly into his eyes. "For 6 months," she said calmly. "I watched everything." The silence that followed was heavier than anger. Her lawyer stepped forward and announced that all company assets legally belonged to Addis. Security escorted Emeka and Sandra out of the mansion. Their plans had collapsed completely. Later that night, Addis stood alone on the balcony overlooking the glowing city lights of Lagos. The cool night breeze touched her face. Her heart still carried pain. But it also carried peace. Because sometimes revenge does not come through shouting or anger. Sometimes the most powerful weapon is patience. And sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one who sees everything. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more storytelling content.